Hey, good morning everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. It is a rainy morning. So today we're working inside, sort of. So we're gonna dig this dirt out of here, concrete floor. Top of concrete's gonna be bottom of the wood, top of that block. Tapered to the middle, we're gonna put a floor drain right here and take it out this door to daylight. This is only a 7-foot door, so the machine won't fit in there. So 4 bolts. Pop this off. Right inside, nice and dry. We all like the sound of that. A little cold out this morning too, huh? Just above freezing, 32. Nice compared to winter. Yeah. At least it's not 7. So we'll go ahead and pull this cab off. Get head in there. They're out of the way. Alright, here we go. So with the cab off, I just brought the machine in. Started filling up the wheelbarrows with the debris. We couldn't use the power buggies. The garage ceiling was too low. I couldn't lift the boom up high enough to fill them. So 3 wheelbarrows, couple trips, quite a few trips, and we had it dumped right over the hillside. One side, jumped to the next. So Jim is laying out 3 feet segments, drilling a hole in the foundation, getting set up for rebar. The rest of us are working on getting the debris out. 2 bucketfuls of dirt and debris fill up the wheelbarrow. So it does move fairly fast. It's real nice, easy material to dig. A couple big rocks in it eventually, you'll see. But for the most part, easy digging. And again, nice and dry out of that wind and rain. So this took us maybe about an hour to get it all down to the right grade. Repeating, filling barrels, running them right over the hill. With the inside all dug out, I moved the machine outside of the garage. We have a course of cement block that are too high across the door openings, so I just pull the debris away from the block on the outside so that I can wiggle, push and pull on that block and get them out without damaging the center pier as well as the corner of the garage. Some of them were full of concrete. It didn't take a lot of effort. I just wanted to be careful in what I was doing. This close to being done, I didn't want to hit that aluminum siding around the garage door, the siding, or like I said, disturb the foundation that I didn't want moved at all. So just took my time, pulled the dirt back, and eventually got it out. With all the dirt and debris moved away from the block, I wiggle at the very top edge. As soon as I get one out, the rest of them come out fairly easy. I just keep the teeth high on the block and try and roll them off. Steve will give it a couple hits with a sledgehammer just to help crack that concrete inside the cells of the block, and they roll right apart without disturbing the under foundation as well as the sides. With them all broke free, what I do next, I just start sorting through the dirt picking out the block and just taking them over to the other side. Whenever we're all done, we'll hand load those into the back of the dump truck and haul them away. We don't want to leave the homeowner a big mess. He's going to use the dirt that we dumped over the hillside for his lower driveway, but he has no use for these blocks, so we'll go ahead and get them out of his way while we have the machine there. Now this 301.7 made this job so easy. I doubt I would have even taken on this project had I not had this machine. Digging that out by hand would have just taken way too long, too much effort. We could have been doing something else. But the 301, an hour, hour and a half, without the cab, fit in there real nice. I only hit my head one time on the garage door, but everything really went well. Okay, so I switched the 24-inch bucket to the 12-inch bucket and started digging the ditch for our floor drain. The guys pulled a string center to center both ways on the garage walls and found center of the floor, and that was my start. I went down about 8 inches. Remember, I said earlier, no trap on this. We're just doing a 90. I don't want any water laying in this pipe. There's no full-time heat in this garage, so I don't want anything freezing and cracking that pipe. So just digging and healing with the bucket, a nice even grade to that bottom of the ditch so the pipe sits nice and level, nice and even, with about a quarter bubble fall on it. Notice how I take the heel of my bucket and just smooth the bottom of that ditch. This 4-inch pipe isn't too bad to work with. If your ditch isn't perfect, you can get a little bit of a bend on it, but for the most part, you can make your ditch as straight as you can. Sometimes we pull a string and put a paint line on the ground. That way you can drive your machine right over that paint line. It helps you dig a truer ditch, nice and straight. Then your fittings go together better. So there, I just got my 2 block out. Now I'm out of the garage. I'll heel it one more time, and the guys can start putting the pipe in while I finish the ditch. Okay, we got the sub base plenty low enough. I just got my ditch dug for my floor drain. Jim's putting a string for our height. Now we'll go 1.5 inches below the string, and that'll be our slope to the floor drain. Putting a 1/4 inch per foot on the pipe, 90 in it to daylight. A little. Quarter. Like it?
It's light now, but I think it's because I'm tired.
Okay. Got the machine back together. We just went ahead and dumped, we only had maybe 1.5 tons of stone left, so we dumped that here. The homeowner will use that to clean up in front of the garage doors here. I brought 20 feet of pipe sticking out right there. I'll bring 20 feet and 45 tomorrow. We'll clean that up. Floor is ready to go, all tamped. Our new floor drain is in. You probably noticed all we did was a 90. Now there's no heat in this garage, so we don't want to put a trap in there and have water there that could freeze on a nice cold winter night and crack and then leak. So 90 it, pipe the daylight. He can put a flapper, he can put a grate on it, you know, to keep animals from crawling in there. Holes are drilled around to here. Drill bit broke. New drill bit tomorrow. We'll drill those. Plastic, rebar, good to go. Still raining. Just load that debris in and we're out of here. Right on time. Hey, good morning everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. We are pouring this garage floor this morning. So Steve and Matt just double check the drain, make sure we're where we want it. We're gonna have zip strip coming off of each corner. Just finishing up tying some rebar up on chairs. What else? Vapor barrier's done. Mixer is about ready to start mixing. It's a little bit noisy here. I apologize. Everybody's yelling and screaming and carrying on. All right, let's get busy. Come up. We got a low door here, so we just have to be careful getting them in as far as we can. Keep coming. I'll get where the mixer driver can see me. About a foot. You can still come in. Keep coming. Keep coming a little bit. Okay, try that. Go ahead, you're good. Alright, I'll get a little bit of this and we'll go to time lapse. Look at these guys. Ready, thrilled, happy to be here. Alright, I'll leave them alone. Now as I work my way back to the doorways, this is where I really slow it down, taking my time, making sure both ends of my straight edge are down. I want a nice straight plane right in front of this garage door. When that door gets lowered, we don't want to see any gaps under it from side to side. So just take my float and clean up all the extra concrete, leveling it off, filling in my boot marks, just trying to get it all evened out where I need it, looking around to see where all my help went, but that's okay. And then I'll pull this back, looking side to side, making sure it's right where we want it. With the straight edging all done, one last step. Jim will come in behind me with the bull float. 1 or 2 passes, leveling everything off. Well, with the concrete still pretty soft, I closed the door. You can see we have a low spot right here under the rubber, a little bit high here. So we just check it, We'll open the door, clean that up, recheck it, then we're good to go for a nice tight seal. Go ahead, Matt. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It almost looks like this rubber is pushed up there, maybe from the old floor. We'll do that one more time. Go ahead, raise that up. You can see where it left a mark through the concrete, and it's just a little bit light right here. I'll bet if we take this down, see the gasket's pushed up. I think that's all it is. That'll probably flex down. I think we're pretty straight. We checked it with a straight edge and checked it with the... Me and Matt are on the floor now, hitting it first pass. He's going in front of that door. Coming down this wall, wanted to make sure that door was nice and wiped off and clean. And for down these walls, what we like to do, sorry for the shakiness of using my phone, you go and you just kind of saw it back and forth. You want to make sure this is all closed up and flat. Push a little cream up there. Sorry. That's with our float. Now you take your trowel and in the same direction, just go down it once that way, once back. So stuff like this on our next pass, that's gonna smooth right over. So that's what you do the whole way down the wall. And again, you want to try to fill in stuff like that. So we're gonna put the camera down and get going. Okay, so as you can see, the sills are broomed. Concrete's hard enough that Matt and I are gonna jump on it, buzz around it, and do final pass. Smooth all that out. So there's our first pass. We like to leave it similar to the way an orange peel is, how it still looks a little gritty, not all that smooth. So then on our final pass, we take our trowels up on edge a little bit more. On first pass, you want to leave your trowel flat. Second pass or third pass, you want to turn it up on edge a little bit more. And with some down pressure, ideally you only want to hit it once or twice, but holding a camera is a little bit difficult, so bear with me here. See how that just smooths right out? My camera will focus. Back here in the shade, it's a little harder to tell, but you just kind of work your way back because the back side of your trowel will leave this little line. So you just want to constantly work backwards while giving yourself a way out. So you can see there, I started up here, working my way back. We'll circle around and I'll come out right where Matt jumped on. See how he left me a little trail there? So we're going to go ahead and get the rest of this floor finished. Head off to the next one. Okay, so the floor's all done. We went over it twice with our trowels. Really smoothed everything out. Looks good. Drains nice and clean. Now the homeowner has a small heater right there he's going to turn on. And then tomorrow night he's going to cover this with plastic, which we left him right there. And then for these garage doors out front, we're going to keep them cracked just for tonight. And we left him some insulation here he's going to put on this evening. Help keep the heat in those frost walls. So between the insulation out here, the plastic on the floor inside, and that heater on, should be good. As always, thanks for tuning in to Concrete with the Hosses. Let's keep this channel growing. Tell your friends. Tell everybody you know. Come on back and see us.